StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void series! This is a best of 5 series between Scarlett and iaguz, here starting on Frozen Temple. This is from the round of 10 from the WCS Copa Intercontinental that wrapped up at about a month ago now. And let's get right on into game number 1. In the bottom right side of the map, representing the Terran, is the red player iaguz, hailing from Australia. And in the top left side of the map, we have the blue Zerg player. It is Scarlett, who is Canadian. And we will see how she performs today here against iaguz, who's a very solid Terran player. Hasn't had a lot of success recently in tournaments, unfortunately for him, but he is definitely a very good Terran player, very solid. You can learn a lot from him as a member of the Terran race. And so, yeah, check him out. Check him out and learn. Scarlett as well, just very good at what she does. And we'll see how these players decide to work it out. What do I have here? Do I have my list? Do I have my Reaper name list? It has been replenished, is what I'm gonna say. It has been replenished here. So hatch first out of our Zerg player Scarlett into Extractor into the spawning pool, and we have a barracks, double barracks opening here. Oh, from iaguz with 1 gas. Could this possibly be a double Reaper opening? It looks like it could. Let's see what comes out of this first barracks here, and we'll get a better idea as to what's going on. And yeah, it's definitely a Reaper. So we'll go ahead and name this guy Justin Reaper. Suggestion that came into me, one of the first ones when I announced that I was taking suggestions again. So Justin Reaper is a pop star hailing from the Tarsonis system, or is that a planet? Either way, he gave up his microphone and started to kill Zerg back a couple years ago. Been pretty successful so far. We'll see if he can survive through this game as well with his friend here, who does not have a name. I'm just going to name the first one. But this is going to be Justin Reaper and friends. We will see how long this Reaper pressure holds up. We'll watch that production tab. It looks like no more additional ones on the way. Oh, just kidding. There are 2. So it is kind of a mass Reaper play out of iaguz. It is not a triple racks or like a quintuple racks, but just 2. So I don't think he's planning on going super all-in with this thing. We'll see how Scarlett's reaction time is. 4 lings and 2 queens on the way. As is tradition, speed started. So 1 Reaper, not much to worry about. But the Overlord, I think, just scouted in and saw the second barracks. And yep, recognizing that that's continuing, as well as getting an expansion behind it. So Scarlett immediately responds, throwing down a Roach Warren, waiting for those queens to pop out, trying to see what she can do here. The second Reaper has shown up. Justin Reaper and friend doing some work. KD8 charge knocking that queen right on back, but 2 queens are here now. I don't think that's very good for these Reapers. Queens alone can't really do it. Not in my experience. You do need some roaches. You need some good surrounds with speedlings if you're going to survive this thing. They come in, they scout the Roach Warren. KD8 charge blowing one of the lings back. Good dodge by Scarlett overall, though. Another one shows up, really trying to kill these things. Good job keeping them alive so far as iaguz, though, knocking everyone back, using them mostly, the KD8 charges mostly as zoning tools than anything else. So it is 2 base to 2 base. The other thing this does for iaguz is really prevent Scarlett from taking a 3rd base. I mean, Scarlett recognizes that iaguz has that natural, would really like to take a 3rd here, but needs to deal with these Reapers first. That speed is not quite finished yet. Ravagers. I forgot about Ravagers. Ravagers are actually the answer to these things. Roaches are okay, but their range a little bit too short. They do kill 1 of the Reapers here as they hop down out of the main base, back over to the place that Scarlett would be taking her 3rd if she could. If she could. 4 Reapers sitting up. No more Reapers on the way, according to that production tab. KD8 charge knocking them roaches. I like how they wiggle when they bounce. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. It reminds me of Mario a little bit. So there are 5 Reapers here. That should be the end of the aggression. We've got Marines coming out. We have Tech Labs and reactors on those barracks now. So this is it. This is what iaguz has, is these 5 Reapers. What damage can he do is the question. Is Scarlett going to get any Ravagers? I feel like he kind of needs some. Speedlings trying to chase these Reapers away. And, oh, KD8 charge knocking his own. Oh! Lost a couple Reapers there with a bad KD8 charge. Did iaguz. That hurts. That hurts. 5 Reapers is much better than just 3. Ah, what a bummer. What a bummer out of iaguz there. So, Extractor on the way for Scarlett. There's that 3rd base. Throwing that 3rd down immediately as soon as she feels safe. Medevac on the way. Siege Tank on the way for iaguz. Looking pretty good. Standard stuff going on from this Terran player. Gonna maybe do a Marine tank push with Medevac support. Could also do a drop if he felt like it. KD8 charge and Reaper trying to take down this 3rd base, but by themselves, they just don't do enough DPS versus buildings. It's very difficult for them to do that. Zerg player, Scarlett, getting double evolution chamber. We do have a drop. Flying tank from iaguz on the way, heading up north toward the Zerg swarm. Creep spread going to connect these bases. Actually, already connecting all 3 of these bases so far. Very nice creep spread thus far from Scarlett, pushing down south, pushing down the center, pushing up to a place where she'll probably take her 4th if she can get to that point in this game. So Ling's scouting around, trying to see what they can see. Flying tank does get spotted by this overlord, but iaguz is pretty much already here. So is it in range? It is range. It is in range of that hatch. Going to try to stay. Oh, beautiful play here from iaguz. Actually protecting the Reapers here. Protecting Justin Reaper here. How many kills these guys have? 2, 2, 0. The Ravagers are here though. Ravagers, like I said, the ultimate counter to Reapers. They have that extra range. They don't take a whole lot of damage from Reapers either. They're a little bit faster than roaches are. Is that right? 3.85 plus 115, 3.15, 194. Yep. Ravagers are faster and have better range than Reapers, so they're definitely better at dealing with the Reaper aggression. Justin Reaper still alive here at the 6-minute mark. Pretty good. 3rd base on the way from iaguz. Income tab. Let's take a look at that one. 61 to 48. Wow. Wow, Scarlett has a nice advantage here. Here comes the Marine push with 2 tanks. Full evacuation of the drones from this 3rd base. Is Scarlett going to lose this thing? Might just straight up lose it. Reapers, Marines, tanks. 3rd base does end up falling. Huge get. Huge get from iaguz. Was down in workers, but made it work. Made this thing work by taking out that 3rd. It's now 2 base to 2 base. 3rd base on the way from iaguz. Scarlett's in a lot of trouble here in game number 1. The early pressure has kind of paid off, I feel like, from iaguz. Ravagers, Roaches, Queens trying to do what they can against this, but those 2 tanks, they just hit so hard. They hit hard against Roaches. They don't do extra damage versus Ravagers, so again, why I feel like Ravagers are your better option. 1 Marine does get taken out by a Ravager. Another one does get shot right in the face as well. Overlord dies. The tank positioning by iaguz has been absolutely brilliant, though. Attempting to land this 3rd here is iaguz. And Zergling is here trying to shoot it, or not shoot it, but trying to knock it down with its little claws. Scarlett, despite having to replace her 3rd base, is getting an infestation pit, is getting +2 missile attack, and +2 ground carapace. So really heavily investing into this Roach Ravager stuff, which, I don't know, there are a lot of tanks here. A lot of tanks from iaguz. We'll have to see. We're going to have to see how this thing works out. So 3rd base up and happily running. It's 58 to 59 Harvesters. iaguz has taken a lead, actually. No one's killed any workers in this game. That's very surprising. And a 7.5-minute TVZ that no workers have died whatsoever. Hive on the way for Scarlett and going for Spire. So going for a Spire, which I don't know. I like. You can pick off tanks with Mutas. Corruptors, again, very good at getting rid of medevacs, which is a very important thing to do if you're a Zerg player. And Reaper's trying to kill. Oh, they do kill a creep tumor there. Nicely done. Justin Reaper is doing very well for himself. I don't know if I can give him as much credit as other Reapers in the Hall of Fame just because he's had friends with him the whole time. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you feel like Justin Reaper deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame, because he did early harassment. He killed a bunch of Lings, actually killed, I think, a Roach or 2, and was instrumental in taking down the 3rd base as well, while just keeping the Zerg on her toes the whole time. I mean, if it was a single Reaper that did all that, I'd probably put him in the Hall of Fame, but as it stands, I don't know. I mean, do we have group Reaper Hall of Fame entries? Justin Reaper and friends? Give me your opinions. 4th base on the way for Scarlett in the place that I thought here at the top of the map, but iaguz is right outside at the front door. Tanks immediately getting shots off on that hatchery. Corrosive Biles landing. Good dodge on those medevacs and forcing a cancel on that 4th. iaguz's pressure has been insane. Insane throughout this game. Tanks continuing to push forward. Is there a scan happening? iaguz not throwing down a scan, not even bothering. Taking out an extractor here at the 3rd base. Can he get the hatch as well? He does have +1/+1. But the Roaches Ravagers +1/+1 as well. Tanks continuing to rock on. Good little flank here by Scarlett, trying to take those tanks out. Pretty good micro on display. Oh, the Marines and Marauders just standing in, dealing with this. All that's left are a few Queens. Good fungal, though. Great fungal. Oh, on those biological units, hurting them immensely. Roaches coming in, doing a lot better against these very wounded Marines and Marauders. Another fungal. The chain fungal is real. Tank still alive. 9 kills on that tank. Finally gets taken down here. Small, scrappy group of Marines slowly getting healed up by their friends, the medevacs, trying to deal with these Roaches. More and more Roaches pouring on in, though. Finally, the Marines get burned out. Another tank shows up, gets some shots off on those Roaches, but iaguz forced to retreat. another day here. Slowly pushing up the middle is iaguz here with another group of Marines and Marauders, killing creep tumors, which is good. Basically denying Scarlett the division that she really wanted to get with that creep spread. Greater Spire on the way for Scarlett. Not going Ultralisk Cavern at all. I'm not sure why that would be. Ultras, as we all know, are very good in TVZ. Perhaps it's for the surprise factor. I don't know. I mean, I don't think there are any Vikings in the air, so Broodlords could be pretty darn good. If she can get there is the question. Greater Spires do take a while to morph in. iaguz pushing in once again with another attack here. It's 92 to 69 army supply. And here we go, killing more creep tumors, killing queens, walking right up the ramp like there's nothing to fear in the entire world. Roaches trying to move on in. They do have the +2/+2, trying to spread themselves and fester along the left side. Tanks are in position to do some serious damage, though. And here it is, going for it is Scarlett from all sides. Corrosive Biles landing. Good stutter step on display by iaguz. Tanks in the back. Just too many targets. A target-rich environment for them for sure. Just absolutely destroying everything that Scarlett has here. This third base in a lot of trouble, and that's it. GG from Scarlett. Scarlett is defeated here in game number 1. iaguz takes the 1-0 lead in this best-of-5 series. Just great pressure the whole time from iaguz. Were his Reapers still alive? No. Justin Reaper did eventually end up dying somewhere along the way. But yeah, just continued pressure. Really delayed that third base with the Reaper attacks. Ravagers just didn't get out in time, I don't think, for Scarlett. Had Roaches, didn't realize that the importance of having Ravagers was very, very much important. And so didn't deal with the Reapers in a quick and timely fashion. Delayed the third. iaguz continued to push in with tanks, Marines. The medevac numbers were pretty good as well there. 8 of them in the sky. I'm not sure that Scarlett killed any of them, actually. Didn't get any Corruptors, I don't think. Oh, did have a Corruptor, but really didn't make a difference in there. So, all right, that's game number 1. Let's move into game number 2, coming right now. Welcome back, StarCraft fans, to game 2 between iaguz and Scarlett, here in Apotheosis, the Ladder Edition. In the top left side of the map, we have the red Terran player currently up 1-2-0 on his opponent. It is iaguz. And in the bottom right side of the map, we have the blue Zerg player down 1-2-0. It is Scarlett. All right, so again, amazing pressure on display from iaguz all through game number 1 there. Just beautiful. Beautiful to see the Terran get in there before Scarlett could really get into her hive tech and ended up winning. I mean, maybe that's the key here. I know a lot of my Terran versus Zerg matches end up with Zergs winning, but maybe that's because I cast long games. Like, maybe I just cast long ones, and the macro style game really favors Zerg right now. If Terrans, if they're consistently aggressive, go for 2-base type stuff, 3-base type stuff, and really try to punish the Zerg player before they can get to that point, maybe they have a better shot of winning. I mean, well, maybe iaguz has given us the blueprint here of how this should work. I mean, Scarlett did have a Greater Spire on the way, possibly could have had some Ultras come out, but I don't think it would have saved the third base in time, and that was kind of the key that caused Scarlett to lose the game. So iaguz here, going to try to go 2-0 up on his opponent, and in a best-of-5 series, that's very important. Winning 3 games is all you need, and if you get 2, that's just 1 more that you need. You're knocking on the door to that quarterfinals showing, going up against, who would he play here? The winner of, actually just playing Neeb is what it is. Neeb actually got a bye in the first round, so the honor of playing Neeb, which is not the greatest honor. Neeb's kind of been awesome lately. Anyway, Reaper coming out here from iaguz. Let's go ahead and pull open our Reaper name list. This one is going to be Justin Grimberlake. So in game 1, we had Justin Reaper, and this one's Justin Grimberlake. Somebody is on a male musician kick right now, which is fine by me. Grimberlake is a great name. I like it a lot. So here we go. Moving on out is Justin Grimberlake, and heading south to try to kill that evil, evil Zerg. Overlord spread by Scarlett, pretty good. Covering a lot here with those 2 Overlords. Drone Scout heading out, and what? Checking for positions. Checking traditional positions where a proxy 3-Rax Reaper would be happening, I think is what is going on here from Scarlett. Just making sure. Nothing too crazy. No ninja stuff is happening here. And nothing is, so Scarlett has to be breathing a big sigh of relief about that. Justin, meanwhile, heading on down past the gold base, making sure that's not a gold that was taken by Scarlett early, and it wasn't. Traditional and standard place here instead at the natural base. KD8 charge being thrown down, and the Lings just doing their job, staying on the creep, pushing the Reaper away from the drones. They can't catch the Reaper because they're not fast enough if the Reaper moves off the creep here. Queen doing some good work on the Reaper, down to 12 hit points. Really got to wait for those combat drugs to kick in before he can move back in, and that buys Scarlett more time to get speed up. Why are you getting Lings out here off of the creep? Don't do that. Don't do that, Scarlett. Okay, not doing that. Not doing that, Scarlett. iaguz getting a starport. Pretty quick starport here. 3 minutes in. Speed's not even done yet for Scarlett. And that second base is, I mean, is that a third? That's a third command center. I was going to say, that production tab looks like a third command center. That is a 3-minute third from iaguz. Woo! He's feeling extremely confident here. Reaper, Justin Grimberlake, still trying to do some things. Ah, speeds up. Get out of there. Get out of there. KD8 charge knocking everybody, and the Reaper dies. Ugh, that's the worst. Reapers getting hit by their own KD8 charges is one of the saddest things that you can see in StarCraft 2. All right, so third hatch is here. We got creep spread continuing from Scarlett. Scarlett is very good at her creep spread. That's one thing she's very strong at doing, and something I appreciate as a Zerg player. Beautiful creep spread is beautiful. Actually getting a bunker. Here is iaguz. Handful of lings up here trying to do stuff, but too many marines. Handful of marines and a widowmine. And a bunker right up next to this orbital command at the natural base. iaguz really worried about pressure from Scarlett here. Again, can't provide a lot of pressure, so worried about pressure coming his way instead. And going for that third base, you don't really have a lot for a huge army, so that's why that bunker is there. But moving out with a medevac drop of a widowmine and 6 marines. Heading south, Viking on the way for iaguz as well. Possibly going to go Overlord hunting, which I'm a fan of. I like Overlord hunting from Terran players. It's a good way to force your opponent to make more Overlords, to supply block them, to deny them vision. It just provides a lot of benefit for really not that much. Vikings are pretty cheap. You just kind of shift-click them around the map and you'll be okay. Queens for Scarlett here, ready to rock. Oh, this medevac's going to fly into a world of pain if it continues this trajectory. Oh, the Queen's left. The Queen's left a little bit. Okay, maybe they're not. Maybe they're not completely dead, although they are here. And that range of 8 really coming in handy there. Chasing that medevac away. Creep spread continuing here at the third. Queen count is 6 for Scarlett with 3 bases. Continuing to double pump. Queen's getting +1/+1 for that melee attack and that ground carapace. Oh boy, that really smells like ultras to me. Really smells like ultras to me. Getting a Baneling Nest though, so maybe not. And a lair. The lair makes sense. Baneling Nest, not necessarily an indicator that we're going to see ultras. Yeah, did you just take out... Yep, Viking has a kill. Killed 1 Overlord already. There's a Ling here. Nope, and a Ling here. Did Scarlett pull her Overlords back in? Yeah, must have done. Must have pulled that other one back in, because there was one heading up. Or maybe it went... Oh no, it's over here. It's at the top right, and it's hiding in this corner as fast as it can travel. Leave us alone. Drop, still trying to do stuff here from iaguz. Dropping, trying to kill this Overlord, making their presence known is the problem. Creep, and Widowmine does take down the Overlord, does supply block. Scarlett here, Ling trying to knock down this orbital command at the third base that Scarlett, or iaguz has landed. And still no sign that Scarlett's going to take this gold base at all, which I find very intriguing. Gold bases are very good for Zerg especially. And I don't know why she wouldn't do it. So Speedlings are here clearing out a Widowmine that got dropped. Actually, was that a Widowmine? May well have been. May well have been a Widowmine that didn't quite get burrowed yet. Yeah, yep, it tried to walk over here. I was going to say, that explosion looked familiar. There it is. Didn't even get burrowed, unfortunately for it. Tanks here for iaguz on a pretty good position on this high ground. Can they hit that creep tumor? Didn't try. Didn't even try. Marines heading back home, though. They don't like what they see for some reason. As Scarlett does take the gold. Does take the 4th base at the gold a little bit later than we usually see from Zerg, but I think she'll be okay. Not really worried about that. Tank's trying to find a nice place to land, killing a creep tumor that was trying to cross this bridge and now in range, and they have sight of this 4th base thanks to the medevac. What can Scarlett do to stop this? A queen tries to show up and kill the medevacs, but one queen by herself, not going to do much. Transfuse is happening. The other queens are here. The Queen Brigade is here. They force the pickup and the liftoff. Ling's trying to get us around on those tanks, and they're going to pick off 1. No. No. Great lift there by iaguz, keeping that tank alive. 3rd base at the gold. Finished. And happily mining with mules for iaguz. Creep spread continuing for Scarlett up that left side, up the middle here, and over to the right as well for a potential... Wow. Is that a 5th? 5th base by Scarlett on the way, getting centrifugal hooks, getting an overseer, getting a spire +2/+2 for that ground carapace and the melee attack. Not messing around is Scarlett right now. Ling up here to check to make sure a 4th base doesn't come up too early from iaguz. Not checking these other potential 4ths though, so doesn't have all the information that she would need. Viking still on that shift-click patrol, trying to find Overlords to kill. Still hasn't found this one. Hasn't found this guy up at the top left, just happily flying around. Creep spread continuing here from the Scarlett. Burrow? Oh. Burrow on the way from Scarlett. Possibly planning some baneling mines here. That would be very interesting. Very interesting from Scarlett. And Muta's on the way. 9 Mutas in production by Scarlett. Ling Bling Muta is the order of the day, getting +1 flyer attack. And 2834 Ling. So not going ultras. Not yet, anyway. Could definitely on this 5 base economy. But right now, it's a Ling Bling Muta play against a very heavy Marine tank composition with a couple Marauders. Maybe 1 Marauder and a couple Hellbats. So these Marines going to be a problem for those Mutas. +1/+1 on those guys. Stim Combat Shield. Tanks assaulting this 4th base at the goal for Scarlett once again. Queens trying to find an angle in which to attack. Mutas can't really engage here either just because the Marine count is so high. There are 44 Marines on the field. Where are the rest of them? Here they are. His army's kind of split up into 2. Ling's trying to do some run-by stuff and kill some things, but pretty good positioning, pretty good defensive positioning here by iaguz. It's 191 to 166 total supply. Both players essentially getting close to maxed out here. Muta's picking off a couple of those Hellbats. And Scarlett really abusing the mobility that this particular strategy has. Can't necessarily win in a straight-up fight most of the time, but they can do pretty well just in hit-and-run type stuff. Lings get in. They get inside the natural base. Oh, the supply depot was lowered, but I think the Hellbats should be able to hold their own. Nope, they get burned alive, but the Marines and Marauders clear up the rest of them. Another big attack here. Banelings getting on top of stuff. Lings on top of everything else here. Pretty good splits by iaguz, but Scarlett just clearing through right now. Baneling hits on everything. Tank left behind, destroyed. Another attack here of Marines. A drop here at the 3rd base, killing a few of these drones. And a pickup and a boost out again by iaguz. Man, he lost that encounter pretty badly. It's 184 to 126 total supply. 5,100 resources lost for iaguz. 46 for the Zerg player, Scarlett. Again, losing 5 drones, not a good thing for Scarlett, but I think it's 81 to 59 harvesters. Scarlett's going to be okay. Gonna be okay with this, just fine. More banelings on the way. Infestation Pit coming up. +1 flyer carapace being researched as well. And the Mutas just bringing in some overseers, making sure they don't get Widow Mine sniped. Trying to kill stuff as they come out of these barracks here in the main of iaguz. Just going to town. Trying to cancel Concussive Shell. And they do. They cancel Concussive Shells. Minor engagement here. Some Mutas trying to fly up and do what they can. And I don't know what iaguz has to deal with this. He is sending some Marines back to the main to chase them away and does manage to shoo them away here. But the Lings coming in once again, choosing to come into this 3rd base. Banelings, can they get some hits here? Not even trying. Not even really trying at all because the Lings clearing everything out so darn quickly. Mutas and Lings trying to take down this orbital command. The Marines are here, but the orbital command falls anyway, losing that 3rd base. Pushing in now is iaguz trying to hold it. He's got Liberators, but Lings and Banelings are just walking through the circles like they don't care. The Baneling count is insanely high for Scarlett. Still Banelings left after exploding on everything that iaguz has, forcing him to pick up and lift off. Liberator with 10 kills gets taken down by a Queen. And once again, iaguz's push is aborted, is slowed down, and forced to retreat. Reinforcements are coming in here from iaguz. Banelings still trying to get more hits. More Banelings from the right side. Fantastic focus firing from iaguz, though. He did not let any of those hit at all. Yahoo! So it's 131 to 155 total supply. More Mutas, more Lings, more Banelings on the way for Scarlett. iaguz continuing to make Hellbats, continuing to make Marines, and Medevacs here pushing in to this 4th base. Once again, can he get it, is the question. Baneling's trying to get hits. iaguz's splits are good. Pretty good, but Muta's flying on top of everything. Baneling hit, just crushing through. All the Medevacs are going to die here unless they run, and they're trying to run. They're trying to boost away. iaguz trying to retreat as fast as he possibly can, but Lings getting the surround on these Marines here. The upgrades are good for the Lings. +2/+2 on the Marines themselves, but the Lings with a +2/+2 as well, and that helps the Lings a lot. So that's it. A GG from iaguz. iaguz is defeated, and Scarlett is victorious here in game number 2, tying up the series 1 game to 1. Oh, this should be a good series now. A 2-0 is very different from 1-1 when it comes to these best-of-5 series. Again, it just takes 3 wins. It's just 3, and now they basically started over. It's now the first one to get to 2 wins, as though it is a 2 out of 3 game. So again, Scarlett going Ling Bling Muta. Haven't seen that. Haven't seen that a lot in Legacy of the Void, but when we have, it's been pretty effective. I'm not sure why. I guess ultras are so good that Zerg just don't really like doing what they did for several years during Heart of the Swarm and Links of Liberty. They kind of want to switch it up. But Scarlett's control was great. The Baneling hits were beautiful. Resources lost. They do say Scarlett lost about 1,000 more resources than iaguz, 15,000 to 16,000. But in the end, as the Terran player, really want that to look differently and have lost a lot less than the Zerg player to be in a position to win. But well played by Scarlett. Just not enough harassment out of iaguz, I think is what it was. How many workers did he kill? He killed 6. 6 of them the whole game. It was 78 to 44 harvesters in the end, and losing that third base really murdered him as well. So that's it for game number 2. Join me for game number 3 coming up right now. Welcome back, StarCraft fans. This is game 3 between iaguz and Scarlett on Frost, the ladder edition. Again, this is from their best of 5 series from WCS Copa Intercontinental, and is currently tied up 1-1. In the bottom left side of the map, we have the red Terran player. It is iaguz, hailing from Australia. And in the top right side of the map, we have the blue Zerg player. It is Scarlett from Canada, or Canada, as some people have called it from time to time. I think they were all American, though, so I'm not sure that counts. But Canada is a little bit more fun to say than Canada. Just a little bit more flourish to it, I would say. All right, so this TVZ promising to be a pretty darn good one. Pretty darn good one here. Both players, again, showing good strategies, good skills in each of their wins. Game 3 is going to prove to be pivotal. Usually whoever wins Game 3 is going to go on and win the entire series. They just have to win one more game out of the next 2, and usually they can pull it off. So iaguz go in, command center first. Command center first out of iaguz. He did throw the supply depot down, but command center here right after that. No barracks whatsoever. iaguz, didn't we just discuss how you have to pressure the Zerg to win? Game 1, you pressured beautifully. Game 2, you kind of sat back. You sent 1 Reaper in, but really didn't do a whole lot else for several minutes, allowing Scarlett to get 5 bases pretty much handily. And then we're surprised when you got rolled over by Banelings and Lings and Mutas. So it's a Ling Bling Muta thing, which again should go on a t-shirt, somebody suggested. Would you buy that one? Would you buy a t-shirt that said it's a Ling Bling Muta thing? I don't know. I'm not sure I'm getting many t-shirt sales actually at all, so maybe I will not bother, but if there is some interest, we will discuss it. Meanwhile, barracks, double barracks coming up. Could iaguz be following up this really greedy command center first play with double Reaper? I mean, the double Reaper played well for him in game 1, so hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Go back, but no, it's a Marine. It's a Marine from iaguz. What's the second barracks going to do? Hey, second barracks, what secrets you got, man? The answer is a Marine! Oh, it is Marines. I had my Reaper list ready to go and everything. It's always so disappointing when Terran players don't get Reapers, because they do it so often that you just kind of expect Reaper names to come out, and then when they don't, it's kind of a letdown. But you know what? I've got all your Reaper names recorded. I've got it. If you put it in a comment, I have it on the list, and I promise I will get to it. I may have to stop additional submissions again, like I did recently, just to keep up, but I'll get there. I will get there. Third base, on the way for Scarlett, saying, I don't see any Reapers coming my way, so I'll take a third. I'll spread some creep. I'll send Lings around looking for proxy stuff, possibly. Reaper, nope, that's an SCV. Duh, why did I think that was a Reaper? Because it was on its own, and SCVs are just on suicide missions if they do this. Run! Man, they bleed when they get hit by those spines from Queens, don't they? That was blood coming out the back. Ugh. SCVs got rough lives, man. Smoking cigarettes, growing crappy facial hair, wearing gross hats. That's what they're all about. Those are the 3 tenets of SCV life, and this guy is doing a great job with it. So Speedlings, just about Speedlings, run by. Trying to kill these Marines before the bunker finishes, and do they get it? No! 2 Marines get inside. SCVs fighting for their lives. 1 gets picked off. Pretty good control there by Scarlett. Trying to get inside the main base. The liftoff by iaguz. Not going to happen. Lings trying to kill. Oh, they get both of the Marines, but the SCVs finish them off. Just a handful of wounded Lings. Aren't super powerful, but man, they got 2 of those Marines. Resources lost 200 to 150 in favor of Scarlett there. So bunker at the front from iaguz. Still no pressure. Just nothing. You have to pressure the Zerg player. That is my impersonation of a German philosopher discussing StarCraft 2. Overlord, moving on down from the top left. And Medevacs coming out as well from iaguz. So pretty standard. I don't really think we're going to see many departures from what we saw in games 1 or 2. Going to be Medevacs, going to be tanks. That is a tech lab coming down on the factory. Going to be Marines. Worker count is currently 34 to 42 in favor of Scarlett. Has that nice lead. Double evolution chamber here as well. Not doing anything with it yet. Heard me, and I went for +1/+1 for the +1 melee attack and for the carapace. Overlord tries to scout in this bottom right side of iaguz's main, but Marines are ready for it. They're shooting at him. They might actually get this. No, Overlord does manage to escape. Good job, Scarlett. Good job babysitting that there, Overlord. Did you hear the news about Polt? I think it was about a week ago this news came out. I'm always late on my news, but basically he's entering military service. For Korea, I think, right? Korea? He's Korean by nationality. Anyway, yep, so he's taking a break from StarCraft 2 for a while. So all of you players who love Polt so much, I know there are many of you, shed a tear for Polt. He'll be back. He will be back, though. I promise. It's going to be a while. That's all. Attempting to drop this way is iaguz, and gonna get here, gonna unload outside the creep to a place where the third base could be for Scarlett, but is not. Gonna come down to where the third base is. Gonna do a scan, kill some creep tumors. No, just hoofing it directly to that base. There are lings out. There are so many queens out again for Scarlett, though. So many queens. 7 of them right now. Lings surrounding Marines, taking them down. iaguz's drop once again just pushed away. Absolutely shut down. iaguz, you can't wait this long. You can't wait this long to damage the Zerg player. Another Marine dies. That's a Leot down there holding the Zollinga Watchtower. Nope, changes his mind. Doesn't want to hold it anymore. Look how scary he is. Leots are scary, man. There are some critters in StarCraft 2 that are nice, but not Leots. Definitely not Leots. Or Ursidons. Also pretty scary. Those are the abominable Yeti things, right? Ursidax. Ursidax are the ones like cows that are ugly as sin. Is it Ursidon? That's the abominable snowman one. I think it is. I think it is. I need to have some quizzes about StarCraft 2 critters, apparently. Looks like Scarlett's going the Ling Bling Mutafing mode right here. Getting centrifugal hooks for the Banelings. Getting +2/+2 for those Lings. Getting Queens. Getting Overseers. And was there a Spire? Thought I saw a Spire, but perhaps I did not. Perhaps my brain is deceiving me. I'm going to try to do this with straight Ling Bling. I don't know about that, Scarlett. I don't know about that. There's the Spire. Okay. Spire is on the way. 71 seconds away from completing. Army supply is currently 65 to 37 in favor of iaguz. If iaguz can make a push now, he could do a lot of damage to Scarlett. That 4th base is up. iaguz did not take a 3rd yet. He doesn't even have a 3rd command center. He's basically 2-basing this thing as hard as he can and going to try to make it work. Lings do scout this. They're holding this on like a watchtower. Marine comes down to clear it out. Does manage to clear it out. And pushing up along the left side of this middle. The creep spread is here, though. Look how far out this creep spread is. Ah, so frustrating for iaguz to have to clear these creep tumors. Is he going to keep pushing onto the creep anyway? That's so dangerous. So dangerous. Tanks, though, harassing this 3rd from across the chasm. Very difficult for Scarlett to get to. 3 drones die. Extractor falls as well. Marines trying to clear out the Lings that are coming in. Like I said, Scarlett might be in trouble here. Does not have speed for the Banelings yet. They can't quite go in there. Slow Banelings are terrible. Terrible unit. Going to lose this 3rd. Here we go. Banelings got speed coming in from the top. Coming in from the left side as well. Banelings trying to connect on these Marines. Killing a tank in the process, though. Nicely done. The Lings do have that +1/+1 upgrade. Queens desperately trying to kill everything they can. Transfuses keeping these Queens alive. 1 kill, 1 kill, 2 kills each. Queens coming off creep to try to do this. But no, suddenly it's Marine tank versus Queen. That is bad. They are support units. They are not primary attacking units at all, and iaguz suddenly gets the upper hand with reinforcements off of this 2-base pressure. Banelings trying to morph in. I think iaguz can cancel him, though. The Lings are coming in, trying to distract them from their mission of taking those Banelings out. And you know what? They might have succeeded. They did succeed. Some of these Banelings are actually finishing. They come in, do some great hits, but the splits by iaguz are godlike. Amazing splits, keeping those Marines alive. Coming up, taking out that Baneling nest. Scarlett's in a ton of trouble right here. Drones forced to pull off the line to fight for their lives here in game number 3. I don't think it's going to be enough. The Marines with their +1 attack and their stim with the medevacs overhead. 4 medevacs overhead, just too many tanks as well. 9 kills on that tank, and that's it. A GG from Scarlett. Scarlett falls here in game number 3. Again, the pressure by iaguz doesn't even go for the 3rd base, just straight up 2-bases it like a boss. I don't think he even had a 3rd command center under construction there, did he? He did not. He was 2-basing or dying in this game, and thankfully for him, he won Again, fantastic splits, good tank positioning, good tank lifting up and down as well by the iaguz. Scarlett did not have the Spire yet, just was waiting just for that Spire. Got a little bit greedy going for the 4th before iaguz had even taken his 3rd. That's just information you have to have, and Scarlett didn't have it. So iaguz wins game number 2, and as such is 1 game away from closing out this best of 5 series against Scarlett. Tune in for game number 4 coming up next. Welcome back, StarCraft fans, to game number 4 between Scarlett and iaguz here on New Gettysburg, the Ladder Edition. In the bottom right side of the map, we have the Red Terran player, currently up 2 games to 1. It is iaguz. And in the bottom left side of the map, we have the Blue Zerg player from Canada, down 1 games to 2. It is Scarlett. Alright, so Zerg player finding herself in a really tough spot here versus iaguz. iaguz's pressure has just been good in the 2 games that he's won so far, just doing a great job continually showing up with tanks, with Marines, with Hellbat sometimes, Liberators other times, and that's when he wins. Game 2, where he slipped up, he didn't pressure quite enough here, and Scarlett was able to get 5 bases pretty easily and just ling-bling Muta iaguz to death just through straight macro, I think. Straight macro and some really good micro as well. I mean, ling-bling Muta isn't very forgiving to mistakes, so Scarlett did a good job not having any of those. As iaguz going command center first again here. He's going command center first again for the 2nd time in a row. Just doesn't think Scarlett can do anything to stop it, and honestly, Scarlett's going hatch first herself and extractor and waiting on that pool. So it's going to be a while before Scarlett has any lings, let alone speedlings, let alone roaches or banelings or anything that can really punish this. So iaguz, I think, is going to be okay. He is following it up with a barracks. He's not doing anything crazy, like a 3 command center opening. That would be fun. I'd like to see somebody try that against a Zerg here in Legacy of the Void, but no. Nope. iaguz just kind of swapped the order of this barracks, and this command center has a refinery coming up. 2 refineries coming up. That's interesting. That is interesting to see. Are those going to be Banshees? Double gas opening usually sets alarm bells off in my head that they're going to be Banshee. We'll see if iaguz can finish this thing off in game number 4 here, or if we're going to force a game 5, but we'll keep an eye on this. We'll keep an eye on that tech path for sure. Scarlett not doing anything crazy either, waiting for that spawning pool to finish. Gonna get a couple queens, gonna get like 4 lings, wait for the Reaper to come. Is there gonna be a Reaper? No. Nah, iaguz figures Reapers are out of style. Marines are the way to go in TVZ. So hey, here we go. iaguz with the Marines. Here in 2 games in a row now. Double, oh, just kidding, factory. I'm gonna say into starport. I can't imagine this is for anything but Banshee. So the question is, can the scout come through here? Overlord, trying to scout on in. Doesn't really see a whole lot. I think the Overlord did poke in and see the factory. Didn't see the base. How did you not check to see if there was a base there? I guess you can assume there's one, Scarlett, but you know what they say when you assume things. Ling's heading out across this tiny little path that connects both of the bases, trying to see what they can see. They should do a better job scouting than that Overlord did. A darn near lazy Overlord Marine trying to take down this unbuildable bricks plot all by his lonesome, which is kind of fun. And a bunker coming up as well for iaguz. Hopping inside is this Marine. Boop. There he goes. And Slowling's trying to do some stuff, getting shooed away. They just scouted the presence of the command center. It's not a 1-base play. Nothing like that. There's that starport. There's the starport. Although, oh, it is a Reaper. Huh. A Reaper is coming up from iaguz here at the 3-minute mark. That seems weird. Alright, so this is Alan Ivergrim. He's known for his speed, agility, and sharpshooting. Alan Ivergrim will be on fire one way or another this game. Alright, so Alan Ivergrim it is. A play on the player, the name Allen Iverson, a NBA player from, I want to say, the early 2000s through the late 2000s. An undersized guy. I want to say he was maybe 5'11", like 5'10", but so fast on the field. Could get to the hoop, could score like crazy. Never the most efficient scorer, but a pretty good passer as well. Actually got his team to the NBA Finals once against the Lakers. Did not win, did never won a Finals, but still, I'd say one of the greatest players pound for pound in the history of the NBA. So Alan Ivergrim it is. I don't know where he is, actually. Where are you, Alan Ivergrim? Hellions running away, trying to burn down this 3rd base of Scarlett's, as I did not mention because I was talking about the NBA. Okay, Liberator. So, why do you need all this gas? What are you doing that is gassy here? Hellions aren't gassy. Marines aren't gassy. Liberators, I guess? Or what you need this for? Who knows? Hellions running around. Definitely switching up the tactic, though. Here's iaguz, and there's the Hellbat transformation. Armory has finished. It's the Hellbat push into this third base. Again, Hellbat DPS, surprisingly good. Surprisingly good against buildings. The Queens, however, have range, which means they can kite these guys all the livelong day. And there we go, Alan Ivergrim in here trying to kill a Queen. Takes part in killing a Queen, standing on in. Oh, gets exploded there. Alan Ivergrim, you were one of the shortest lived ones ever, and actually did catch on fire, I think, there. Great defense, though, from Scarlett, cleaning up all those Hellbats with Roaches, a great choice, and Queens as well. Some Hellions do manage to escape. Another Reaper getting out of there, too, but that's the second Reaper. I'm not going to go ahead and name him. Liberator trying to sneak on in and possibly harass this main base, but a Spore Crawler's coming up from Scarlett. I'm not sure if he caught sight, or she caught sight of that Overlord, or the Liberator with an Overlord or not. Have to imagine that she did, though, based on this response. Yep, Queen finding a nice spot to get some shots off there. Drone pull immediate. Liberator gets no kills, no joy for that Liberator. Going to take out her aggression on this Overlord, though. Get Overlord, you jerk. You caused me problems. And getting shot at by a Queen. Can't even take out the aggression on the Overlord. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Third command center here for iaguz. Actually using the third command center as a wall, part of the wall, here to the natural base. We're going to upgrade it to an orbital command, and I assume landed up here eventually. But yeah, doing a good job keeping up with that base count. It's 59 to 49 total harvesters. No workers have been killed by either team. And again, I just feel like it snowballs. If your early attack as iaguz doesn't do any damage, I don't think it did hardly any damage there. Resources lost 250 for Scarlett, 775 for iaguz. Then you're in trouble. You're in an uphill battle the rest of the way. Scarlett is getting a fourth base. Liberator trying to kill something. Does manage to kill an Overlord before the Queens can save him. Queens trying to come up slowly through this narrow channel, but no. Nope, not going to happen. Another Reaper, an unnamed Reaper, scouting out the landing location of this third command center. Orbital command, I suppose it is. Third orbital command, because they are all previously orbital commands. Moving into tank, moving into Marauder production, Marine production as well, and a lot of barracks is iaguz. Reaper holding the Zelnaga Watchtower. The only Zelnaga Watchtower on this map here at the top. Ravager shows up, though. Ravager, Reaper's enemy, does manage to escape, though, with 10 hit points and 1 kill. Does this Reaper. Ling walks into the third base. SCVs surround it and murder it without losing anything. Good job. Good job, iaguz's SCVs, making that thing happen. Creep spread, again, really good for Scarlett. Really good. Pushing along this narrow path, pushing along the main attack path in the middle of the map as well. That fourth base has popped. It is 76 to 59 harvesters. What? In favor of the Zerg player, 147 to 93 total supply. Scarlett just macroing like a beast right now. Infestation Pit on the way, +1 missile attack, Glio Reconstitution, and +1 ground carapace. So not going Ling Bling Muta in this game, but is instead looks like going for a more standard Roach Ravager type play, which I've said is really good up until about 12 or 13 minutes in a professional game. So Scarlett has a window here to make this thing work. Is getting Infestors to mix in and a Hive, so never mind. Never mind. I was going to say, if you go pure Roach Ravager, you're pretty good again for a while, but eventually the upgrades for the bio on the Terran side just kind of kill you and overwhelm you. But Scarlett's not getting stuck on that. Already going for Infestors, already going for a Hive. Not going to get stuck on this at all. Just has enough for base defense. I won't see her attack with this. Might cross the midfield here, but I don't see her really going anywhere else. And here comes iaguz anyway. Hellbats, tanks, Marines. Can the tanks get into a siege position? Corrosive Biles landing. Getting some Marines there. Not even bothering to siege the tanks. The damage is still really good on these things. Even unsieged weapon speed, 0.74. 25 damage versus armored. Can they do it? Yeah, clearing out those roaches. The tank's doing a great job from behind. Absolutely beautiful. Where the heck are drones dying? Ah, Liberator shows up. Liberator at this fourth base, killing 4 drones. iaguz continuing to push on it. He wants to clean this thing out now. He wants to end the series in 4 games. He wants to be well rested for Neeb. If he meets him in the next round, Spire on the way for Scarlett, again about halfway complete. +2/+2 on the way for iaguz, about halfway complete on those as well. So continuing to stream Marines and Marauders from these 3 bases. Oh, the Fungal Bile, though. Ah, the Fungal and the Bile follow-up here. Just gorgeous for Scarlett. Won that battle handily. iaguz is in full retreat. Full retreat right now, trying to stand in, but the concave by Scarlett is nuts. +1/+1 is finished for these guys. Roaches, Ravagers, Corrosive Biles, forcing dodges by iaguz. He really can't stand in at all and take any kind of damage. A 5th base now on the way for Scarlett, feeling very confident about her position, and why not? It's 85 to 59 harvesters, 85 workers at the 9-minute and 30-second mark is just amazing. Again, just beautiful display so far by the Zerg players. Unlike a watchtower, going to the Zerg player now, just trying to see what's coming, and there's nothing. There's nothing really, just a quick tap. iaguz trying to mount up another attack, doesn't have a lot. Greater Spire on the way for Scarlett. Roaches on the way. Corruptors on the way for Scarlett. +2 ground carapace, +1 melee attack. I suppose that's for the broodlings. A spine crawler as well. Where's she putting a spine crawler? Ah, spore, spine. Over on this right side, and iaguz trying to come in with the drop. Does manage to survive. Medevac does not die to that spore crawler, and Queen kills it though. Queen destroys it. Big old attack here by this only watchtower. Of course, the Bile's landing, getting the tank, but these guys are still alive inside the main base. Roaches, however, very good against Marines in these numbers. Another attack up here from iaguz, the multi-pronged harass. Very good. He needs this to be effective in order to win this game. No, gets cleaned up in the main base. Gets cleaned up as well at the 4th base. And iaguz continuing to push. He won the battle of the Zelnaga Tower. Killing creep tumors. Might actually take this 5th base down if Scarlett doesn't defend it. I don't know that she will either. The fungals could be so good. It's 195 to 173 total supply. iaguz taking down that 5th base. Bam! Nice job by iaguz. That's what he needed to do. Drop up here at the 5th. Gets cleaned up. Scarlett handling that pretty darn well, but the fungals, the fungal bile too, just that combination is so darn good. Really hurts these biological units, especially the Marines. The Broodlords are out though, and so much stuff on the ground as well. Fungal bile destroying everything that iaguz has. Broodlords coming down from above. There are no Vikings at all in the air. No Vikings, no Liberators, and that's it. A GG from iaguz. iaguz is defeated, and Scarlett is victorious here in game number 4. Forcing a game number 5. All right, so we're going to get to the rubber match, you guys. So excited about game number 5s. I love them. It's just win or go home. That's all it is for both of these players. They're going to be playing so hard, so hard, and only one of them can win. So again, iaguz early damage just wasn't enough. I loved the triple prong stuff he was doing later, but it was just too late. I mean, he had a worker count deficit that was insane. 81 to 59 harvesters at the end of the game. Only ended up killing a handful of drones. 11 workers killed. Just didn't have the army sizes or the surprise to really make it happen. And lost this battle. The Broodlords, a major factor in that. The fungal bile, fantastic as well for Scarlett. And iaguz is forced to go into game number 5. So we'll do that coming up next in just a couple seconds. Welcome back, StarCraft fans, to game 5 between iaguz and Scarlett here on Galactic Process. In the bottom left side of the map, we have the red Terran player currently tied up 2 games to 2 against his opponent. It is iaguz. And in the top right side of the map, we have the blue Zerg player again in the same position, being tied up 2 to 2. It is Scarlett. Oh boy, here we go. Again, it all comes down to this. All the marbles hinge on this game. Galactic Process has given us many an amazing game between Zerg and Terran. I will say I feel like Zerg usually come out on top. They usually do, but we'll have to see what happens here. iaguz has made some good showings. Is he? Oh, okay. I thought that was a proxy for a second, or a ninja, but no. He's just going to go ahead and wall off at this ramp just directly outside of his natural base. He does have to worry about these destructibles getting knocked down, as well as this debris along the left side getting killed as well, and these rocks. There are just a lot of ways for Zerg players to get in here. But the double barracks opening by iaguz is basically saying, I don't want the Zerg to have any opportunity at all to even think about getting in here, because I'm going to be up in her business. So here we go. We're going to have a Reaper name ready to go. And what do we got? Ah, I have it. I have it right here on the tip of my tongue. Ready to be said. Extractor, spawning pool on the way for Scarlett. Did go pool first, though. Is worried about some early Reaper pressure. Wants Queens out before she wants speed out. There's the Reaper. This Reaper's name is Bill Door. Had a subscriber suggest it more than once to me, actually. So Bill Door is the name of this Reaper. I don't know what the significance is. I suppose I could search. Let's do that. We have a second here. We have a second where we can search the name Bill Door. Bill Door. Oh, it's a Discworld person. A Discworld character. I've read a lot of Discworld, but no. Not anything with Bill Door in it. I feel so embarrassed. I love Pratchett. I love Discworld. Thud. is one I recently read. Just a beautiful, beautiful story. I like it a lot. So, the Events of a Reaper Man. Is the book called Reaper Man? I don't know. Anyway, Bill Dorr. All right. So I'm not going to spoil anything, but go check it out. Go check out a Discworld book. Just do it. Don't start at the beginning. Don't do Color of Magic. That one is just a hot mess, in my opinion. Try maybe a Tiffany Aching book. That's one of the later ones that he read or wrote. I would recommend also perhaps As These Lings trying to knock down this front door. More Reapers coming out to deal with them. They're not going to get very far here, unfortunately. And the repair on the supply depot, the clutch repair, the KD8 charge moving these Lings away. Lings just getting massacred. Yeah, I'd recommend Thud quite a bit. There are some earlier ones as well with Captain Vimes of the local constabulatory. Anyway, check him out. Check out Terry Pratchett. He's a wonderful author for sure. I actually just read Good Omens as well, which is a joint venture between Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. Probably one of the best books I've ever read. Just the writing is so beautiful. The turning of phrases is consistent. I mean, every page I felt like there was just a sentence that was so beautifully crafted I had to read it again. I don't usually do that. I usually cruise through books, but this one I couldn't. I just had to admire it so much. And sometimes read them to understand what they were trying to say, what the joke was, but once I got it, it was definitely worth it. So again, Good Omens, highly recommended from Falcon Paladin. I think it came out in the 80s. It's kind of old, but it's awesome as well. So here we go. Reapers, 4 of them inside the main base, going to try to burn down this queen. Can they get her? Going to do it. That early queen death is a big deal for iaguz. Slows down larva production, slows down base defense abilities, trying to murder these drones. More Lings on the way. The Reaper's getting trapped in a corner, though. No, Reapers, don't go there. Oh, all the Reapers die. Bill Dorr and friends going to die. And they do. More KD8 charges, but 5 drones killed there. So we're looking at 400 resources lost for Terran, 662 for Scarlett, and 5 workers killed. So it's currently 30 to 30 workers. Scarlett had a bit of a lead. It is gone now. It is gone now. Command center upgrading to an orbital command here at the natural base. A second command center, a second expansion command center on the way. So gonna have 3 bases here pretty soon is iaguz. So I'd say that early pressure pretty effective, more effective than we've seen recently. Once again, Ling's trying to knock down a wall. It's just, this is puzzling to me from Scarlett. You can't do it. I mean, heaven knows I've tried. I've tried knocking down Terran walls with Lings before, but unless you got Banelings or Roaches or Ravagers or something, it's just not going to happen. DPS is too low. They can't get a surround on anything, which is what Lings are so good at doing, is surrounding. They're just attacking the fronts of stuff, and it just, the Terran has plenty of time to get a couple Marines back there, a couple Reapers, and call it good. Just call it good. So, what is Scarlett doing back home? Getting a 3rd base? Fantastic. A couple more evolution chambers. She does like this location for her evolution chambers, just directly south of that main. Any sign of a lair? No. No lair coming up either. More creep tumors on the way. Queen's trying to knock down this destructible, which again I feel is horribly named. Marines taking out this overlord that was just scouting out a potential location for a 3rd for iaguz, and now Scarlett's going to be in the dark about that one. Upgrading this command center to an orbital command as well. Stims on the way. +1/+1 is on the way for Scarlett. And yeah, this destructible is going to fall eventually, I suppose. Oh, that's why, because there's going to be some tank harass. I forget about this location. The tank harass location is very good. Knocking down this destructible is super useful for Zerg. So she's going to stand in there, take shots from the tank, not worry about it. Going to try to get this destructible down. 170, 162. Reapers here trying to assist as well. KD8 charge knocking those queens back. And the Ling's going to come in and finish off that destructible. It looks like iaguz is content to allow that to happen. So watch it get destroyed. Ready? Oh no, what? It just sank into the ground? That's not destructible at all. I keep expecting it to explode, like rocks do. Scarlett going Baneling Nest, going Lair, going, again, that +1/+1, going Ling Bling Muta again. It would appear. Does Scarlett have an allergic reaction or some kind of crazy aversion to ultras? I don't know why she's never going ultra. I suppose there's still time. There's still time in this game for it to happen, but I just don't know. I just don't know. So Queen's up there trying to stab things away. Nope. Not going to happen. Marines, Reapers, tanks. This pressure from iaguz, again, looking intense. This is what separates his wins from his losses, are these little pushes. Again, pure Queen against tank Marine, not very good, but the Ling's showing up from the backside. Ling's very good in this situation. Trying to kill these tanks, and actually going to get one. There's only one medevac remaining. Ouch! Nicely done, tanks. Still, nicely done Lings. One tank is available, going to sit on this high ground where it's very hard for the Lings to get to, but can't really attack anything from here either. Tanks on the low ground can't see the medevac or the tank because they can't spot the high ground, and they retreat back to the safety of the creep. So it's currently 50 to 60 harvesters. Scarlett does have a 10 worker lead, but that third base is established for iaguz. He's got several mules on it, 4 to be exact, I think. And again, Scarlett pressuring that front door, but not making any banelings to pressure it. Now there are some banelings joining up with the Lings, but they weren't there on that initial push. Scarlett getting a 6th extractor. Yep, already has 5, going for number 6 here. That gas so important to Zerg economies. So dang important. And creep spread continuing. So it's just going to come down to control by Scarlett, really. Just the Ling Bling Muta is very, very dependent upon control. You can't fly your mutas over Widow Mines and get them wiped out. You can't fly your mutas over Marines and get them wiped out. Your banelings have to hit. They have to hit Marines and take them down just to make the mutas that much more effective, or you're in a lot of trouble as well. So a lot of dependencies here, but Scarlett does have a 4th base down here in the bottom right. Looking at a 4-base Zerg versus a 3-basing Terran. Here comes another push from iaguz, going to make this thing work one way or another. He's got Widow Mines mixed in. He has those tanks, those aforementioned Widow Mines. Spire just about complete from Scarlett. Marines have that +1/+1, have the stim, have the combat shield. Burrow on the way from Scarlett too. Ling going to try to knock down these rocks that lead into iaguz's 3rd base. Look out, iaguz. Look out, my friend. Does he know about that? You can't see it unless you're right on top of it. And yeah, has no idea these rocks are getting knocked down. That's so rough. That is so rough, iaguz. I hope that's not the difference between winning and losing for you. iaguz continuing to push up, clear more creep tumors out. Again, Scarlett's creep spread is great. Is super very good, but getting destroyed here as well. Widow Mines dropping, hitting Overlords, threatening this 4th base along the right side. Lings, banelings coming in though. Speed banelings, so dang scary. All over the place here by Scarlett, crushing in through. Hellbats trying to do what they can. Tank's still alive. No. Tank gets taken down. All that's left here are some queens. I feel like, again, iaguz is in a good spot, but Lings continuing to come from the backside. Where the heck? Was that a baneling attack? Shoot. Yes, banelings rolling into that natural base, killing 11 SCVs. Ouch. Nicely done. Nicely spotted there by Scarlett. Continuing here. Again, it's only queens and a handful of banelings against this onslaught. iaguz looking good. Looking strong. That baneling does not finish. It doesn't finish. 4th base in a ton of trouble. A lot of dead drones there. 8 drones killed in a matter of seconds. 4th base is gone. Continuing to push up. Here's iaguz. It's 141 to 105 total. Supply 93 to 36. Is that 36? Yeah, 95 to 37 army. Scarlett, if these banelings can get amazing hits, she might be able to pull this off, getting some good hits off, but mostly, there we go. I was going to say mostly ineffective, but those last 2 hits really made up the difference there. More banelings coming on in. So many more drones dying. Hellbats inside this natural base. Mineral line just crushing. They finally get cleaned out. The Terran army is not done yet. Regrouping at the bottom of this ramp, continuing to send in reinforcements with this 3-base attack. Muta's on the way for Scarlett, 2 of them, to add to the 3 that already exist. It's just 5 is not what Scarlett wants. Scarlett wants 9 to 12. 9 to 12 mutas is a much, much better place to be. Also needs to replenish that Zergling count, that baneling count. Clearing more creep tumors here is iaguz. A sneaky replacement 4th base at the very bottom right is Scarlett. I'm not sure if that will get spotted by iaguz anytime soon, but here come the banelings. Here come the Lings, Queens, Mutas on top of it. Banelings getting some nice hits off it, hitting these Marauders. Not the targets they want, but still doing fairly well. Did that ground armor get cleared out? Mostly so, but again, more reinforcements at +2/+2 on the Marines, on the Marauders. The Lings themselves do have +2/+2, but there are just not enough of them. It's 118 to 94 total supply. The Stutter Step Micro on display, 66 to 33 army supply. iaguz doubling up. Scarlett right now chasing down Queens, chasing down drones. Mutas can't really engage. A Hellbat catching these remaining drones as well as they try to flee. More and more drones just getting roasted alive and hit by Marauders. Still chasing them down. Worker count is currently 50 to 40 in favor of iaguz, but a lot of those drones are not actually mining right now. Workers killed is 36 by iaguz. What a strong play by him so far. Lings, banelings on the way. 8 banelings coming in. Can iaguz stop them from even hatching? That'd be a good pickup for him. It might even be the nail in the coffin here. It's just looking really bad for Scarlett. Yes, forcing cancels on all but one or two of those Banelings. Another explodes harmlessly away from everybody else. Lings and Banelings trying to do what they can here, surrounding the Marauders. Pretty good hits. The upgrades, again, good on the Lings, but not enough, and that's it, a GG. A GG from Scarlett. Scarlett is defeated, and iaguz takes the series 3-2. Wow. Impressive display from iaguz, really winning with these. It was about 12-minute games, I'm noticing here. The games were anywhere from 9 minutes to 12 minutes. Never let Scarlett get to that 15, 16, 18, 25-minute point where the macro just gets insane. The ultras come out, and suddenly Zerg is really hard to deal with. iaguz has these 2-3 base timings where he knows what he's going to do. He has good micro. He has good decision-making. The upgrades are fantastic as well, and he just made it happen. So good job, iaguz. Way to represent Terran in this series. Again, a 5-game series ends up 3-2. Can't ask for more than that. That was a good one. I mean, I chose this series not quite knowing how it would end, and I'm very happy with the results. So that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void series. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself. Patrons! Nicholas Cheek, Sean Govin, Nick Riley, Josh Cornelius, Jin, Robert Farmer, KN, Matt Meermans, Hekon Marcus, Christopher, Alex Coffey, Ben Raboyne, 19 Day, Kith Carlo, Alexander Canaris, Complex, Ian Westbrook, Michael McIntosh, Sam Estagoy, Bo Brissett, Kale Anderson, Trevor Smith, Medhadin, GMP, Sik Kupata, Pedro Batsaris, Michael Wellen, Plaid, Henry Cooper, Clayton Knight, Jan Kodera, Kevin Chang, Rajiv Bhatt, link at the top right. Thank you. Bye.